This ought to be fun. All right, everybody, we are back in the woods today. We're going to be doing nothing pretty much but dropping trees. But here's the deal. This is a thick stand of trees. And the trees I'm cutting right now, we're in a patch of balsam fir right now. Great for studs, things like that. I really wouldn't cut it up for timbers for the timber frame. We use spruce or hemlock for that. But the problem is, when you get in a stand like this, you're going to get a lot of hangers. There's not much avoiding it. Part of that is this balsam fir is not very top heavy. It's not like a nice deciduous tree that has most of the weight in the top. Most of the weight's actually towards the bottom of these. I like that better for dropping the trees, but at the same time, it's a pain in the ass when you're in thick stands because they don't like to go down. You guys saw in one of the videos when we were up here how we were getting the hangers out with the four-wheeler and the log arch. We're going to have to do the same thing here. But anyway, without further ado, we're going to start knocking some trees down. Let me go through the plan, what we're doing, so stay tuned. I had the boy go through and start marking decent trees for us. He did it with an axe mark. And so this is going to be the first guy we tackle. Now, if you look around, there's not very many good spots to drop this thing where it's open. Probably our best direction is right in next to that maple and down through there. But if you look up, those maple branches come out just enough. We may hang up on this one, but we're going to start here, and then we're going to work our way back towards the clearing. We're going to take this one here. She's got a bit of a dog leg up towards the top. But basically all we're going to do is we're going to drop these things towards the first tree. And that way, if we get a stack of them, of hangers, well, we could start right on the outside and start hauling them out. Plus, the other nice thing is we're close enough to our clearing, I can get the wheeler right up to these without too much trouble. That tree is nice and curved like a banana, but we're going to take that one too. And that one's going to want to drop that way. And the camera does not do it justice for the thickness in here, but you see where that thing's leaning? It's right into a big cherry tree right there. And that branch of that cherry tree sticks out quite a way. Believe it or not, that branch up there, right about the middle of the screen, that thing is enough to pull that top of that fir right into that damn thing. And it is a pain to get them out when it's like this. Now, as we get trees dropped, it'll get easier. We'll clear up a little room. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of very big ones that'll be useful for us right here. Probably pretty soon we'll have to move on to another spot. But like I said, we have 2,000 acres to pick from here. I'm going after the low-hanging fruit first just to make time. So anyway. Told you. Alright, so we are in a better spot now. That last spot was kind of miserable just because everything was so tight. Ground was really lumpy to try to work in. But we ended up getting that hanger down. But it took some time. So, we're going to start in here. So we've got this long road. We're quite a ways back in. And I tell you what, it is absolutely beautiful in here. The horseflies though, the horseflies and the deer flies, they're trying to make a meal out of me right now. They get pretty heavy when you get up in the big woods. There's not much for bug spray that really does much for you, but isn't that beautiful? What a spot. That road is rough, but we're going to try to get the sawmill and the truck down it. We will see. But we have a lot of perfect trees right in here. Now, mostly what we're going to be cutting out of here is going to be spruce. But there are a few balsam firs in here as well. Pretty much I thought we'd be into mostly hemlock, but not too much of that at all where I'm cutting, which I'm fine with that. I'd rather deal with the spruce for what I'm doing. But all up and down this road, all the way up and all the way down the way we came, there's a ton of trees close to the road, easy to get to, and probably plenty for what I need to do. We have some nice trees in here. Now what I'm looking for, I'm not looking for anything with huge branches, and we've talked about this before. But that's kind of the nice thing about spruce is you don't get a ton of monster branches like this one in here. Of course, I see some marks on that tree I'm not liking, so we'll probably leave that guy alone. But even those branches, they aren't that big. But we want them from a little bit deeper in where they're not growing branches like that. If you see some in here, there's some good ones in here. Like there's a balsam right there. Doesn't have a lot of branches. Not a lot of hardwoods to get hung up in here also. Like I said before, these types of trees, they're so light in the top, they hang up super easy. But I guess I'm gonna gas the saw up, fire this thing up, and we're gonna start hacking. We're gonna start with, well, let's see. We'll just keep walking. You guys can see my pretty face. I know how much you guys like this. Now I'm one of those dorks doing the walking with the camera. Maybe we'll just start sauntering a little bit, you know? Nah, that's really not my style, but it's fun sometimes. We're gonna start right in this patch right here. You can see we've got a nice big spruce back in there. It has 2 leaders that break off, but both of those leaders are big enough to get some logs out of. And I could just cut straight back, drop them across the road, and pretty much take all the potential for leaners and hangers out of the way on me. There's some I could drop the other way, but we're going to try to drop at least these first couple into the road, and I'll just cut them up. Well, folks, it is the end of the first day of the weekend, and I'll tell you what, I'm glad my friend who, damn flies they're like ninjas up here. I'm glad my buddy here showed me to this spot because this is much, much better than where we were. So the logs are much easier to get to, they're better quality, and I don't have all the hardwoods mixed in with it for these light top trees to catch in and hang up, because that is a miserable, dangerous pain in the ass, and well, I really don't need to have any accidents up here. Now, said it before, I'll say it again because there's going to be some nutsack in the comments. Geez, you don't know what you're doing. You're right, I don't. I get trees on the ground, I walk away. That's what matters. So, if you can't tell looking behind me, we did very well in this spot. Now, I got 3 trees that took me all morning to get on the ground this morning because they kept hanging up. I got frustrated at a couple of points, shut the camera off, and plus I didn't want you to see me what I was doing to deal with one of them. So how's that for honesty on YouTube, huh? But it's a big difference when you can get in a spot where it's similar species of trees. And I'm not saying that from any professional pretext or anything like that. That's just my experience. In here, a couple of them started to hang up, but what's nice with these is you cut part of the hinge wood, you can get it to roll out of the other trees because there's just the branches on top are so small. It is so pleasant cutting in a spot like this. I'm pretty sure up and down this stretch, if you guys saw in the time lapse on the way in here, I think I can get every bit I need out of this section right here. And that's going to be awesome. There's some beautiful trees up that way a little bit. There's some beautiful trees that way. There's some beautiful trees that way. In this whole stretch, I can get in 50, 60 yards off the road here. Or I guess calling it a road's being generous, the cattle trail here. And I could set up the log arch right on that road and skid my logs out that way. Now, a friend of mine lent me a skid cone and I forgot the damn thing at home. I'm irritated with myself because that would be nice. But if you guys haven't noticed, this ground is a lot better. It doesn't have all the big holes. I mean, it's not even or anything like that, but it's nothing compared to where we've been cutting. So anyway, I'm gonna go get a bite to eat. It's getting late, and it's gonna be a good night at camp, and we're gonna get the cameras rolling again tomorrow. So have a good one, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one.